John Deere just did something absolutely insane, and it's sending shockwaves through the entire truck industry. The company best known for tractors, farm equipment, and green paint just rolled out a pickup truck that's cheaper than anything Ford, Chevy, or Toyota could ever dream of building right now. And here's the thing. This isn't a concept. It's not a teaser. It's real. John Deere's move could completely upend how Americans think about work trucks, utility vehicles, and even what affordable means in 2025. This isn't just a truck. It's a full-blown statement, a challenge to every legacy automaker drowning in bloated prices, electric overpromises, and corporate ego. While Ford is trying to convince people to pay $70,000 for an F-150 Lightning, John Deere quietly stepped into the ring with something rugged, simple, and brutally efficient. A truck that actually makes sense again. So, what exactly did they build? John Deere's new pickup is a no-nonsense workhorse designed to do one thing: perform without the gimmicks. It doesn't need massive touchscreens, fake engine noises, or a trillion sensors to tell you how to drive. This thing is built like a tractor with a bed. Functional, tough, and stripped down to pure utility. And get this, the base model starts at under $25,000. That's not a typo. 25 grand for a brand new pickup in 2025. For context, that's less than half the price of a new Toyota Tacoma, and almost a third of what most half-ton trucks go for right now. It's cheaper than some used Silverados sitting on dealership lots. And John Deere's strategy here is pure genius. They're targeting rural America, tradesmen, and small business owners who are sick and tired of paying luxury car prices for basic work trucks. But the shock doesn't stop there. Under the hood, that uses a compact 2.2-liter turbo diesel engine. Simple, reliable, and tuned for torque, not speed. Think 220 horsepower and almost 400 pound-feet of torque. Enough to haul, tow, and climb without breaking a sweat. And because it's diesel, you're looking at over 35 miles per gallon, which completely humiliates every full-size gas-powered pickup on the market. The moment this thing was revealed, forums exploded. Farmers, off-roaders, and small fleet owners started flooding the comments, saying, "Finally, a truck built for people who actually use trucks." And you know what? They're absolutely right. This isn't another overpriced lifestyle truck made to sit in suburban driveways. It's a working-class hero. And John Deere's timing couldn't be better. Right now, the truck market is collapsing under its own weight. Average transaction prices have hit record highs, sales are slowing, and inventory is piling up. Ford and GM are slashing prices. Dealers are begging for buyers, and yet no one's offering a true budget option. The Maverick Hybrid was the last cheap truck standing, until now. John Deere just came in and blew that door wide open. And here's where things get even more interesting. You can literally bolt on different bed configurations, tool racks, or even a mini-dump conversion kit. Think of it like a pickup version of a Swiss Army knife. Need a compact truck for daily hauling? Done. Need a flatbed for your farm? Swap it out. Want a basic off-road setup? John Deere's got an all-terrain package with skid plates, all-terrain tires, and even a mechanical locking rear diff. All for under $30K. Every bit of this truck screams function over flash. Inside, you won't find leather or ambient lighting. Instead, you get vinyl floors, waterproof seats, big rotary knobs you can operate with gloves, and a simple digital gauge cluster that tells you everything you actually need to know. It's what every truck used to be before the luxury obsession took over. And that's exactly why this truck is such a massive threat. Ford, Chevy, and Ram have spent years pushing trucks into luxury territory, turning work vehicles into fashion statements. Meanwhile, John Deere just went back to basics, and that simplicity might be exactly what the market has been begging for. But what's most shocking is how John Deere can build this thing so cheap. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're reusing their global supply chain. The frame is derived from an existing utility platform used in their agricultural vehicles. The drivetrain is sourced from their proven compact diesel lineup already used in tractors and UTVs. That means low R&D cost, massive parts availability, and near zero complexity. It's brilliant. And if you think this is just some niche project for farmers, think again. John Deere is reportedly in talks with fleet buyers, construction companies, and even local municipalities looking for dependable, affordable work trucks without the insane maintenance costs that come with EVs and luxury models. Imagine city fleets switching from Fords and Chevys to John Deere. That's billions of dollars in potential contracts. But here's the part that's really making Ford and GM sweat. John Deere is reportedly considering a direct-to-consumer sales model, cutting out the dealership middlemen entirely. You'd order your truck straight from John Deere or a certified equipment dealer, just like buying a tractor. No haggling, no crazy markups, no endless protection packages. It's the kind of transparency the auto industry has avoided for decades, and it could absolutely destroy traditional dealer networks if it catches on, and the dealers know it. Behind the scenes, sources are saying Ford and GM dealers are furious, calling this a dangerous precedent. Because if John Deere proves it can sell trucks like it sells mowers and tractors, that opens the door for other industrial brands to jump in. Caterpillar, Kubota, even Mahindra could follow suit. Imagine a wave of affordable, modular, purpose-built pickups flooding the market, while legacy automakers are stuck trying to unload overstocked $80,000 EVs nobody wants. But here's the kicker. John Deere's truck is not just about price or simplicity. It's about trust. For over a century, farmers, contractors, and rural workers have relied on Deere machinery to survive. Not for comfort, but for reliability. When your tractor breaks in the middle of harvest season, you remember who built it. That loyalty runs deep. So when those same people hear that John Deere is making a pickup, they're not skeptical. They're excited. It's a brand that's already earned their respect, unlike automakers that seem to have forgotten who their customers actually are. And the ripple effects are already showing. Reports say Ford's product planning team has been holding emergency meetings to discuss how to respond. And the ripple effects are already showing. Reports say Ford's product planning team has been holding emergency meetings to discuss how to respond. The Maverick, once their golden child of affordability, now looks overpriced and underpowered by comparison. GM's struggling to push its Colorado and Silverado EVs, and Ram's small truck plans suddenly feel outdated before even launching. John Deere didn't just introduce a truck. They exposed the industry's biggest weakness: greed disguised as innovation. Because think about it. How did we end up here? Trucks used to be about durability, capability, and value. But in the last decade, automakers chased profit margins instead of practicality. They overloaded trucks with screens, electronics, and luxury trims to justify sky-high MSRPs. The result? The average American can't even afford the vehicle that once defined American work culture. John Deere just flipped that narrative completely. And there's another hidden advantage nobody's talking about yet: right to repair. John Deere has taken massive public heat in recent years for locking down software on their farm equipment, but insiders say the company is trying to flip the script with this truck. The JD1000 reportedly comes with a fully open diagnostic port, simple onboard maintenance systems, and even downloadable service manuals. In other words, no dealer gatekeeping, no locked ECUs, no subscription BS. Just a truck you can actually fix yourself. That move alone could light a fire under every automaker still clinging to restrictive service models. If John Deere makes repair freedom a selling point, it'll force Ford, GM, and even Tesla to rethink their control-obsessed approach to ownership. And it would hit especially hard in rural America, where local mechanics keep communities running. Now, combine all that: low price, rugged design, modular capability, repair freedom, and you start to see why the truck world is in full panic mode. Because John Deere isn't just creating a cheaper alternative. They're redefining what a modern pickup should be. And consumers are already lining up for it. Early pre-orders reportedly blew past expectations, especially in the Midwest and South. Dealers in Iowa, Texas, and Tennessee are reporting hundreds of inquiries within hours of the reveal. And here's what's crazy. People aren't just interested in the price. They love the idea of buying from a company that doesn't treat them like luxury buyers, but like real customers who value function and reliability. But here's where it gets wild. John Deere might not stop at one truck. Leaks from inside the company suggest that the JD1000 is just the starting point of an entire lineup. There are whispers of a plug-in hybrid variant, a dual-cab long-bed work model, and even a fully electric version designed for short-range commercial use. But unlike the bloated EV trucks from Ford and Rivian, John Deere's electric truck will reportedly focus on efficiency and simplicity, not acceleration or screen size. Think 250 miles of range, swappable battery modules, and a price tag still under $35,000. If that becomes reality, it could make electric trucks practical for the first time. And it doesn't stop there. Because John Deere has a weapon the auto giants don't: a massive existing service network. Over 1,500 dealers already dot rural America, many with in-house repair bays, parts warehouses, and mobile service trucks. That means they don't have to build a new sales infrastructure. It already exists. Meanwhile, Ford and GM are slashing dealerships, closing plants, and outsourcing service to third-party vendors. Deere is doing the opposite. It's reinforcing local networks and giving them a new product to sell. That's an advantage money can't buy. Another key part of Deere's playbook? Durability testing straight from the farm. This truck isn't being babied in sterile lab conditions. It's being tested in mud, gravel, dust, and ice, alongside the same tractors and equipment farmers use every day. Early prototype videos show it hauling 8,000 pounds across uneven terrain without a hitch. Deere engineers even demonstrated the truck towing one of their small excavators up a steep incline, something that would overheat most small pickups in seconds. It's not about flashy 0 to 60 times. It's about whether it can take a beating and keep going. And that's exactly why it's resonating so hard with people. This isn't a lifestyle accessory. It's a tool. And in a market drowning in luxury trims and digital clutter, that's revolutionary. The JD1000 feels like a spiritual throwback to the old Ford Ranger, the first-gen Tacoma, or even the early Chevy S10, trucks that were light, tough, and affordable. The difference? John Deere is bringing that old-school DNA into the modern age with smarter materials, diesel efficiency, and modular engineering. What's even crazier is the online response. The announcement video hit millions of views in under 24 hours, with comment sections flooded by people saying things like, "Finally, a company that gets it," and "I'd trade my $60K truck for this in a heartbeat." Even die-hard Ford and Ram fans are admitting John Deere might have just outsmarted the entire industry, and you can tell the automakers are nervous. Social media teams for Ford, Chevy, and Ram have been suspiciously silent, while their marketing departments scramble to reassure investors that the luxury truck market remains strong. Yeah, sure. But the reality is brutal. Consumers have changed. People are fed up with overcomplication, and John Deere just proved that simple sells. It's not about touchscreen size or over-the-air updates anymore. It's about trust, price, and purpose. Deere didn't need to reinvent the wheel. They just needed to remind people why trucks mattered in the first place. And here's something you won't hear in the headlines. John Deere's move could trigger a pricing war. If this truck gains traction, it could force Ford to slash Maverick prices, pressure Toyota to bring back a true base model Tacoma, and make GM rethink its pricing strategy entirely. And remember, Deere doesn't have shareholders breathing down its neck for quarterly EV numbers. They can afford to play the long game, undercut the competition, and build loyalty over time. That's what makes this move so dangerous for Detroit, and so exciting for buyers. But there's one more twist to all of this. One that could completely reshape how we think about rural and industrial transportation forever. John Deere is reportedly working on integrating this new truck into its smart equipment ecosystem, something no other automaker has dared to attempt. Imagine this. Your pickup communicates directly with your tractor, mower, or excavator, tracking maintenance, fuel usage, and even terrain conditions in real time. You finish a job in the field, and your truck automatically syncs that data to your farm management app. This isn't just a vehicle anymore. It's a node in a network of productivity. And for farmers, contractors, and ranchers, that kind of seamless integration is a game changer. That's the quiet genius behind Deere's strategy. They're not chasing the consumer EV fad or fighting over luxury buyers. They're building a mobility ecosystem for the working class. Every automaker talks about connected vehicles, but Deere is actually doing it, connecting trucks, tools, and jobs into one unified platform. And if they pull it off, that could give them a long-term chokehold on one of the most profitable, loyal customer bases in America. Meanwhile, Detroit automakers are scrambling. Insiders claim Ford is already reviewing its compact truck lineup, trying to find a way to match Deere's price point, which honestly might be impossible. GM executives are reportedly shocked by the production costs Deere is managing to achieve, and Ram has quietly delayed its entry-level Dakota project again. Because when one company proves it can build a rugged, capable truck for under 25K and still make money, everyone else suddenly looks greedy and inefficient. And that's the uncomfortable truth Deere just exposed. The auto industry's inflation problem isn't about materials or technology. It's about priorities. They've been chasing bigger margins, not better trucks. John Deere, a company built around reliability and durability, just reminded everyone that affordability isn't a weakness, it's power. But what's really interesting is how Deere is positioning the JD 1000 for global expansion. Early reports indicate the platform was designed with modular compliance in mind, meaning it can be easily adapted for markets in South America, Africa, and Asia. Those are regions where small, diesel-powered utility trucks dominate. If Deere launches globally, it won't just hurt Ford and GM. It'll cut straight into Toyota's Hilux and Isuzu D-Max territory. Imagine the same truck you use on your American farm, also being used by builders in Brazil or miners in Australia. That's the kind of global footprint Deere could leverage overnight. And here's the part that's really going to shake things up. Deere's long-term plan may include in-house manufacturing for batteries, engines, and even steel components. The company has been quietly investing in US-based production facilities and green steel partnerships for years. While automakers complain about supply chain instability, Deere's been localizing its operations step by step. If they use those same logistics to mass-produce affordable trucks, they could dominate a market nobody even thought they'd enter. But beyond the tech, the numbers, and the market disruption, there's something deeper happening here. For decades, the truck has been a symbol of American grit, self-reliance, and hard work. But that image got hijacked by marketing teams who turned trucks into luxury toys. John Deere just took that image back. They made the truck for the guy hauling hay at dawn, the contractor fixing fences at dusk, the small-town business owner who doesn't want to take out a loan the size of a mortgage to buy a work vehicle. It's not nostalgia, it's reality. And make no mistake, this could start a full-blown cultural shift in the truck world. Because once people realize they don't need $80,000 to get a reliable, powerful pickup that actually earns its keep, the entire premium truck bubble could pop overnight. Automakers have been walking a tightrope, betting people will keep paying more forever. But if Deere's truck delivers on its promise, that rope's about to snap. And if that happens, we're not just looking at a new competitor. We're looking at the beginning of a revolution in how trucks are built, sold, and used across America. Because Deere didn't enter the market to play catch-up. They came in to rewrite the rules. And you can feel that shift already happening in conversations at construction sites, farm supply stores, and online truck forums. People are finally realizing that the big automakers have been selling image instead of utility. The shiny chrome, the massive grills, the 12-inch screens. All distractions from the fact that trucks have become overpriced status symbols. John Deere just pulled the curtain back, reminding everyone that capability doesn't need luxury. It needs purpose. Even more surprising? Younger buyers, the ones automakers thought they'd lost, are showing huge interest in the JD 1000. For years, Gen Z and millennials have been priced out of the new truck market. But a $25,000 work-ready pickup that's easy to repair, customizable, and backed by a legendary brand? That's a perfect recipe for first-time buyers, small business owners, and off-road enthusiasts who actually want something mechanical and tough. And Deere's marketing strategy nails that perfectly. Instead of flashy celebrity ads or corporate jargon, they're leaning into authenticity, using real tradespeople, real farmers, and real small-town communities in their campaigns.